Hi everybody, and welcome back to our Bible lessons. I am so glad that you are here with me today, and we are going to continue talking about Moses. Moses was a great man of God, and he is very important in the Bible story. Everything that we read in the Bible is true, and everyone we read about in the Bible was a real person who lived a really long time ago. Moses lived a long time ago, back in the early days when the Bible was written. We know that Moses wrote the first 5 books of the Bible. Let's say them together: Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. Those 5 books are called the Pentateuch, and Moses wrote them. We've been talking about the book of Exodus, and that's where we're going to be talking about our story from today, from the book of Exodus. Now, last week, we talked about Moses going up and receiving the commandments of God. Now, God just told them to Moses, and then Moses came and told the people. And do you remember what all of the people said about the commandments that God had given? The people said, "We will do them. We will obey." And that was a great thing to say. But today, we're going to learn kind of a sad story about what the people actually did. So it's very important that we listen to this story and try to learn a lesson that the Israelites didn't learn. But first, let's sing a couple of songs. Today, I want to teach you a song about Moses. Do you know the Moses man, the Moses man, the Moses man? Do you know the Moses man? He was a friend of God. He went up Mount Sinai, Mount Sinai, Mount Sinai. He went up Mount Sinai to get the 10 Commandments. That's the first part of the song, and we're going to learn the second part in just a little while after we talk about the story from the Bible. So today we're going to be talking about Moses, who was a friend of God, who went up, what was that mountain? Mount Sinai, to get the 10 Commandments. So we left our story where Moses had told the people what they needed to do, and they said they would obey. Have you ever told your parents that you would obey? I hope so, because it's very important that we obey our parents. Do you remember from last week that was one of the 10 Commandments? Obey your father and mother, honor them. We're supposed to honor our mommies and daddies, to respect them, to be nice and kind and listen and obey. That's in the Bible. So we should definitely do that. That would make God smile. But the people said, "We will obey all the things that God said." And so God told Moses, "Okay, now I want you to come back. I want you to come back, and I want you to come up Mount Sinai, and I'm going to give you the rest of the law. And I'm going to give you the tablets of stone so that the people can see the law and read it." Now, Moses went up Mount Sinai, and he was there for a long time. 40 days and 40 nights. That's more than a month. That's a long time. So Moses was there for a long time. And the people of Israel? Where's Moses? When's Moses coming back? He's been up on that mountain a long time. What if Moses isn't coming back? So the people decided that instead of remembering what they had put in their hearts about God's law, they were going to disobey. Do you remember what some of the laws were that the people of Israel had said they would do? Moses came down and he told them some of the 10 Commandments. He said, "You shall have no other gods before God. You shall not worship images or create images of God to worship. You're not supposed to worship idols. You should honor God and not say things against God or his name, but to keep God's name holy." Now, those were just some of the beginning of the laws, and yet the people of Israel, they just decided not to listen and not to obey. And they told Aaron, who was Moses' brother, who was also a leader, they told Aaron, we don't know what has happened to Moses. We want you to make something for us. We want you to make us something that we can worship. Make us an image, a statue that we can worship. Now, are we supposed to worship statues? No. Did statues make the whole world? No, God did. Can statues talk to us? No, they're not real. What can a statue do? Can it help you if you're hurt? No, God can. Can a statue do anything? No. If a statue falls over, somebody has to just pick it up. In order to even have a statue, somebody has to make it. Did we make God? No. What makes God God is that God has always been. From the very beginning, there was God. Nobody made God. God has always been there. And so in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. God made the world that we live on. God made you and me. He made all the trees that we see outside. He made all of the animals. He made all of the people. He made the air and the water. God made everything. A statue is made out of things that God made. So why would we worship a statue? God told us not to. He told the Israelites not to. But instead, they went to Aaron, who was Moses' brother. They went to Aaron and they said, make us something. And Aaron said, okay, what I want you to do is take the golden earrings off of your ears and give them to me. So all the people took the gold that they had taken from Egypt. They took the gold off and they gave it to Aaron. And Aaron took all of the gold and he threw it in the fire. And the fire melted the gold. And Aaron fashioned it into a cow. Kind of a baby cow. A calf. And it became a golden calf. And do you know what the people did? They worshipped that calf. They pretended like that calf had led them out of Egypt. They pretended like that calf had kept them safe. They pretended that that calf was the one that was in charge of them. Now, was that true? No. That was just a silly old cow made out of gold from their ears. Why would they worship that? Now, we say that that's silly to think that they should worship that, but actually, that was a sin. That was bad. And God knew what was happening, even though he was on the mountain with Moses, talking to Moses, because God knows everything. He's omniscient. He knows everything. And so he told Moses, Moses, you need to go back down the mountain because the people are not doing what is right. And Moses went down and he was angry. And he said, why are you doing this? Aaron, what are you doing? And do you know what Aaron said? Aaron did not tell the truth. Aaron said that he just put stuff in the fire and it just popped out a cow. Now that's silly, Aaron, and that is not the truth. Are we supposed to tell the truth? Always. So, not only did they disobey God by worshiping a cow statue, Aaron also lied. That was not telling the truth. That was very disappointing. Now, sometimes in the Bible we read about things that we're supposed to do, but other times in the Bible we read about things we're not supposed to do. We do not want to be like the Israelites. We do not want to do things that God says not to do. The Israelites, they sinned. They disobeyed God. They waited a few days, but when Moses didn't come back, they just decided to do whatever they wanted. Now, sometimes we laugh and we say, why would you ever worship a silly cow? That's so silly. But then other times, when our mommies and daddies tell us to do something, we don't do it. But that's not silly. That's disobeying. And that's making us just like the Israelites. I don't want to be like them. I don't want to make God angry. I don't want to make my parents upset and disappointed. I want to please God. That's what I want to do. I want God to be so proud of me because I have a heart that is like Jesus, a heart that obeys. So Moses, he was where? On Mount Sinai. And he was listening to what God said about all of the things that the people were supposed to do. But before Moses came down, the people told Aaron, his brother, that they wanted something to worship. And so Aaron said, give me all of your gold and I'll put it in the fire. And he made them a statue, a golden calf. They shouldn't have worshiped that, but they did. That was very disappointing. Okay, I want to teach you the rest of my song. Do you know the Moses man, the Moses man, the Moses man? Do you know the Moses man? He was a friend of God. He went up Mount Sinai, Mount Sinai, Mount Sinai. He went up Mount Sinai to get the 10 Commandments. But when Moses came back down, but when Moses came back down, the people they had sinned. They worshipped the golden calf, the golden calf, the golden calf. They worshipped the golden calf and disobeyed God. So now you know a whole song all about that story from the Bible. Moses listened and obeyed God. He was a friend of God. And when God was talking to him on Mount Sinai, the people, they did something wrong. They sinned. They told Aaron to fashion or make them something to worship, a golden calf. That disobeyed God, didn't it? Yeah, we don't want to disobey God. We want to obey God. Do you know a song that sometimes we sing when we're in worship called Trust and Obey? That's what God wants from us. Let's sing it together. Trust and obey, for there's no other way to be happy in Jesus, but to trust and obey. I know that I want to trust God and obey God. I want to listen to what He says, which means I want to read my Bible. And then I want to do what He says, which is everything that He tells me to in the Bible. If we'll read our Bibles and pray every day, then we'll grow. And if we grow, then we'll be pleasing to God. Because the Bible tells us that He wants us to grow and to be close to Him. Did you know that that's why God sent Jesus? He sent Jesus so we could be in heaven with Him forever. So we want to read our Bibles, pray every day, so that we can learn what God wants us to do and how He wants us to obey. I'm so glad that you've been with me today as we've talked about our Bibles, the book of Exodus, and Moses. We also talked about Aaron, a golden calf, and the Israelites who disobeyed. Now, who do we want to be like? Moses or the Israelites? Moses, that's for sure. I hope that you'll come back next week and we're going to have just another lesson from the Old Testament. It's going to be a lot of fun, so I hope that you'll be back with me. I'm so glad that you've come to learn about the Bible with me. I'm so glad you've been in my Bible class, and it's so good to see you another week. You are doing a great job learning about the Bible, and I hope that you will tell your parents all the things that you've learned about Moses so far. Do you remember all the way back at the beginning of our lessons when we talked about Moses as a little baby? And then we talked about Moses in Egypt. We talked about Moses and the burning bush. We talked about Moses and the Red Sea. We talked about Moses' father-in-law. We've talked about a lot of things, so I think you could probably tell your parents a lot of stories from the Bible. Just have to put on your thinking cap. I think you can do it. Thank you for being with me. Bye.